me. Oh. I was like, already know I'm sick. She's like, so and then she came up, right? She was like, what are you doing to your antenna? I said, what about an antenna? What you talking about, an antenna? That was funny, bro. Peace reflections. Peace to the guys on earth. Ooh, I'll be having so many things to talk about, but then I'll be like,
when you get on that damn camera.
Yeah, when I get on the camera, I'll be like, okay, now what am I about to talk about today? I just had it down packed, like, ooh, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, but then I'll be like, okay. So I know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm just supposed to turn it on and just start talking. Because then it's going to all come out like, okay, it's real solid.
And that's crazy how the universe do. You never know what to talk about, but the universe is...
You never know.
Actually give you words. Like,
and you got to listen to the universe when it's talking to you, too. It comes through people. It comes through nature. It comes all over. Especially it comes through people. Like, let me tell you. They be giving you thoughts and comments. That's why I like going live. Because they'll put words in there that'll have me like, oh. And on top of that, I'm going to talk about this, and that. So, I like that.
Are you on a video? Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm doing a video. But it's a part of the video. This is my universe talking to me. Like, you know. Yeah, so, I be having so much to talk about. Like, first, like, coming from the tropics and back into the States, it's like, oh my gosh. If you've ever been to the tropics and came back to the States, you will know what I'm talking about. Like, you come back here and you be like, oh no, it's time to go. Like, everything is so much different. Like, the tropics is so vibrant. You could feel the difference of like sun on your skin. You could taste the difference in the food. You could see the difference in the people. We were in Panama and we got a cab, a taxi driver, and when we got in this, they were bumping like Burna Boy. We was like, yo, they drive, they be like, yeah, yeah. It's fun. And then we came out here to the States and we got a taxi cab. Nothing. Shit was dry. Like, they didn't say not one word. They didn't put no music on. I was like, oh wow, we are in the sunken place. Like, it's really a desolate land. And it's like people stay in the house. When I was a kid, nobody was in the house. We was all outside playing. We was doing things. And now it's like so different. None of the fruit have seeds in it. We went to the store and we went to the organic section. We bought oranges, like, because it says organic. They supposed to have seeds in it, right? It's organic. That's what organic means. But we cut it open, got back to the crib, and it didn't have not one seed in it. That shit was crazy, because we went again and again. So we stopped buying them. We was like, open them in the store. Open them in the store, went no seeds. We just stopped buying fruit here because it's like, there's nothing here. And it's like, why would I want to be here in a place where like I can't get no food, my skin is dry as hell? Like, no, it's not cool. And it's like, we really have to get back to the tropics, and it's gonna take like focus. That's what it's gonna take. Your mental has to arrive to the destination before you do. So if I keep on thinking about positive things, like, okay, we're going to the tropics, best believe we're going to get there in no time. So I just keep thinking about it, like, tropics, 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 tropics. Because that's where I belong. I feel like that's my home. Like, I don't ever want to leave there. After we go back again, I don't ever want to leave there again. Like, I know I said it to everyone before, like, when I first moved to the tropics, everybody's like, when are you coming home? I was like, never. But no, this time I really mean it. Like, no, I'm not coming, not going back. For what? It's not my environment. It's not where I'm going to thrive and where I'm going to live. It's not where I'm connected to the land and to spirituality. See, it's very important that we notice these things and connect to, you have to want to connect to your spirituality and want to connect to the land. Everybody thinks that they can do it here in Babylon, and you cannot do it. Because one, you're not giving your body what it needs to be able to connect clearly to the frequency of the all of the earth. Wherever you are, you cannot connect fully to it, because you connect through the air that you breathe, premium oxygen, the sunlight that you receive, UVB. You connect through the water, you connect through the land, through the earth, and you connect through the food and also the people. And people think like spirituality is just like this, oh, fluffy pink roses and clouds and sparkly things everywhere. They see the beauty of it. They see the beauty of spirituality. They see the results when you really do the work. They see the guru or they see the Buddha, but they don't actually see the process of what it takes to actually become your higher self. They don't see the process, and that process is very brutal. I would like to use that word, because when you are following your spiritual journey, you have to let go of everything that you think that you are. You have been programmed in Babylon to have these false identities. And sometimes when you are on your spiritual journey and then you find like people and family that are on your frequency, and they try to correct this in you, they try to say like, yo, don't think like this, or you know, they try to correct that because we are on a different frequency. We're trying to connect back to the original ways. We're trying to get back to nature. So you personalize that. If I come up to you and be like, yo, I see that you're being greedy right now, you be like, no, I'm not, and you feel defensive about it, is because all those ideas, not sharing, not caring, wanting things for yourself, those are, you got that from Babylon. And so you personalize it with yourself. So when we say something about it, you feel attacked. That's because you haven't let that part of you go. You haven't died yet. And what I mean by dying is you haven't humbled yourself in a way to know that you are everything. If somebody's telling you something, it is only because they see something in you that needs to be worked on, and they're giving you that information so that you could take it and change and apply it to your life so that you become a better being. You can't go back to these spiritual places in these lands with the mentality of Babylon. Everywhere you go, there you are. So you can't take that with you. You have to do the work and be changing in order to get back to where we once were, which is nature. We are far removed from it. We are far from it. We are like so far from the natural ways of living that it shocks you when you come into contact with the indigenous ways that people are really supposed to be living. So everybody thinks that like it's supposed to be easy. It's really not easy, because as a people we are accustomed to the comforts of Babylon. So you think that you're supposed to be living in this big house with just you. You think that you're supposed to have a car that you drive to work every day with just you. You feel like you're supposed to everything. You feel like you are separate of everything, and that's the mentality that Babylon has you thinking you are separate, when in truth you are one. There's a lot of like things that go on, like people are homeless right now when there's somebody who lives in a 12 bedroom mansion, and these things, they keep going on because of Babylon, the way that it is, the society. And so we're supposed to be coming out of those ways of thinking, because that's not really real. How you're supposed to be living, connecting to the earth and really becoming one with it. A lot of people are afraid. You're afraid. Afraid of bugs. You're afraid of being cold. You're afraid of weather. You're afraid of a lot of things, but it's like, how are you ever going to become what you're supposed to be, God? Go anywhere that you're supposed to go. We're supposed to be moving through these lands without restriction, with freedom. I bet back before there were borders and before there was passports and identification, we would be able to walk and migrate just like birds. But now you don't see, even nature is leaving, gone. The trees are dead. You don't see any nature anymore. Humanity, the lower self, not humanity, but the lower self, the lower ways of thinking has basically destroyed almost every living thing. The rainforests are gone. When is it that you are going to come out of your selfishness of thinking about yourself, thinking about your comfort, stuck in your comforts, and look and see outside that things are not the same? The animals are gone, and it's like you once saw birds flying south and flying north for the winter. People used to be able to do that. People used to migrate north and south for the winter. Now you have restrictions. You have borders, crossings where you cannot move how a human being, a normal cell, is supposed to move. So now we're stuck in the matrix. We're stuck. And instead of keeping that fighting spirit, that mentality of like, I need to break free, I'm gonna get it out of here, I'm gonna die. Because why would you not try to break free and die than to live like a slave? You want to live like a slave. You want to be stuck in the box, because, and then on top of that, they make it comfortable for you to stay in that box. So it's like, when is it that your mind is going to activate to where you're like, fuck, I'm noticing all of this stuff, and now it's time for a change. It really is. It's really time. And so right now is where we do the work to be the best versions of ourselves. It doesn't matter what it is that you go out here and do. Just go out and connect to nature. Just go out and be a part of the healing process of the body. Don't go out and be the destruction of humanity. Don't continue to follow the ways of Babylon, the lower self. Don't continue to think that you're better than somebody because you have more money than someone else. If the system was to fall, you would not have no reason, nothing to do with that money. You wouldn't have anything to do with that money. And it's like, the way that Babylon sets up money and stuff, you disrespect your brother and your sister because you thinking that you're better than somebody because you have a lot of money. But you're not. Mentally you're not. Mentally you're not better than me, because say for instance somebody thinks that they're better than me because they have more money. You think that you're richer, you think that you're wiser, you think that you have more experience. And I say to you, yes you do, you have experience in that, but you don't have the experience that I have, which may enrich your soul on a molecular level. I will enhance your life on a molecular level, because I'm going to break down to you your astrology, what you are seeing and what you are perceiving, what you are eating, what you are drinking, what you are pouring into your subconscious mind. I'll tell you how rich you are. For real, for real. I'll tell you if you're able to survive in the jungle. So you need me, because I know how to survive in the jungle. I know how to do that. I've been through that. So it's like, you can't base what you have, base that off of like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm better than that. Like, no, you're not. You're just a lost soul waiting to be found. And I found you. and I'm here to help you as well as everybody